Yo people, it's your girl Laughter. Welcome back to my mini home studio inside my bedroom. Today I'm going to share with you my top 5 plugins, my must-have plugins, my go-to plugins, literally my ride or die. I cannot function without these plugins, just like I can't function without breakfast. So let's get cooking some breakfast, shall we? Now, the first plugin I'm going to talk about is a plugin by Waves. This one is called H-Comp. It's a compression. By the way, Waves do amazing bundles. Starting out, like literally, I don't know what I would have done without Waves. So I bought my silver bundle, then I upgraded to a gold bundle. Anyway, H compression. How do we use this? Let's turn up the threshold properly so I can show you how everything comes into action, and I'll show you the order of things you're meant to do it in. First thing you want to do is the attack. With the attack is kind of how quick the compression is going to grab the vocals. If you're rapping slow, so I'm rapping slower than I usually would, you want the attack to come in a bit later, okay? You want the vocals to sound as natural as possible. Obviously, if you're rapping really quick, like I usually would, you want the attack to come in sooner. So, when they needed help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Took a different lane. They don't know where I go. Right, I'm happy with it there because kind of just before my vocals sound distorted or sound messy, I've managed to just catch the vocal. Now, the next thing you want to work on is the release. So again, you don't want to release too quick because it's just going to sound too punchy, too loud, okay? You want to give it some breathing room. So I'm going to turn up my ratio just to show you in conjunction with everything how this part here functions. When they needed help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. I'm happy with it there. Notice how it, after the end of each bar, each line, it goes back to zero. You want that. You want to give it that breathing room, okay? And that keeps it nice and natural. Now, the ratio. The higher the ratio, the more compressed your vocal is going to sound, basically, the more smaller. So you don't want it, well, if that's what you're trying to do, the effect you're trying to get, then you go higher. But as a lead vocal, I wouldn't really go past 2, really, majority of the time. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend. Okay, so I've just caught my vocal at the peak. You want to still have like the presence of your voice, but you kind of just before it goes into like some serious compression, you want to grab it there. That's the sound you're going for, where you still can hear your voice and then it's starting to sound a bit crispy, okay? If you wanted to go back and play with the ratio, you can turn it up and so forth, but I'm happy with it. I wouldn't at this point add an analog sound, which is kind of gels everything together, because I'm going to be adding more plugins. So something like that I'd probably add right at the end. You've also got a limiter. If you wanted to add that on your voice, you can. My second must-have plugin, by the way, this first plugin, the H-Comp, that was the toast. All right. Now, for the beams, we have the MV2 by Waves. Like, if I could give a round of applause, I would. This is really good because it's an upward compression as well. So you can literally turn up lower sounds, lower frequencies. You can bring the higher level ones in too and really balance them out. And you know, you can control how much of it you want out as well, the speaker. When they needed help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. I'm happy with that there. You want to make sure it's at a certain level where, again, it's like you're catching the peaks or just before it even peaks here. You don't want it to be distorted, all right? Now, let's go for the higher level. When they needed help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Took a different lane. They don't know where I go. I'm happy with that. You can see the attenuation coming into place. It's starting to balance out. So let's figure out the output. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Took a different lane. They don't know where I go. So I'd leave that there. Now, plugin number 3. So we've got the toast. We've got the beans. It's now time for the eggs. Because you know, breakfast without eggs is just not cutting it. Alright? So these are your fried, boiled, whatever you want. This is the Ultramaximizer, the L1 Ultramaximizer. This you would usually use as a master, kind of right at the end of a mix. You wouldn't want to put too much after it because it really would affect the frequencies and just mess it all up. So there would be no point. So let's get started. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Okay, the reason I stopped there, and by the way, to drag it together, you just hold the link and you just scroll down, literally. I deliberately did that so I could find where the attenuation kicks in. So as soon as I started to see this red part, I stopped. And what I'm going to do now is play around with the levels a bit gently and slowly, just to get the right kind of sounds going. As, by the way, it's like coming towards the end of what I'm adding it to. I've kept it as ultra because ultra you would usually use as a master. And the dither, I like type 2. I tested it earlier, but you would play around and try and get the right, sound for you. Okay, but you can play about with these. By the way, dither is this hissing sound that we don't even hear, but it is in our vocals. So it kind of just changes it, translates it to something else. Anyway. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Took a different lane. They don't know where I go. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. So what that's doing, as this threshold is, as it rises above here, this out ceiling kind of controls it, okay? And it makes sure you've got it all under control. As I'm mastering this, or let's say it's the last thing I'm adding on for now, you could have this up to a 3. If you were just doing it normal, you could have it as a 1, okay? I'm gonna have it as 3. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. Okay, so I'm happy with that. We got the eggs. These ones were boiled eggs, to be honest. You could also play around with the input, by the way. You could, if you just hold it in the middle again, you could slide them down together simultaneously, or you could play around with them individually. This is a really, really good thing. It really just boosts everything up. And again, balances out your vocals, the sound and everything like that. Now, it's time for some sausages. If you're vegetarian, think of vegetarian sausages. So the S1 imager, this stereo imager is just like, it's amazing, okay? Let's have a look. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? It spreads your vocals out in the speaker, so you can decide how your vocals want to sound. If you want them to sound wide or, in, you can play around with it. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. So I like it there, okay? Again, I've just caught it before it disappears, okay? I think like the wider you have it, the more further away almost it sounds. But it is nice for like when you're doing your stabs and your ad-libs, you want to go as wide as possible. It just sounds nicer. Okay, now for the final plugin. The last one is bacon. It could be vegetarian ones, turkey bacon, pork bacon, whatever it is that you eat. This is the final plugin. This is like, I think every engineer has this plugin. You can add it to your lead, or you can add it to your stabs, your ad-libs, whatever it is. It's the HDelay, okay? This really gives you like a filter sound if you want. It gives you your echoes, your delay. It just does it nicely. It even adds like a presence to your vocals, a little bit of reverb sound. Okay, so let's play with it. Because I don't really add reverb to my vocals, I'll be honest, because I don't feel like it drowns it out, makes it sound a bit weird. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? Okay, don't do that. Right, notice how I've got this dry, like I'm not gonna have it too high up on a lead. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Now, where did it go? Bring it lower. When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? You can play with the feedback. They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Took a different lane. They don't know where I go. You can also play with the filters, so you can have the higher ends cut through or the lower ends. If you have a look. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? Again, you would play around with it to your own desires. Like I said, I can't help you cook your breakfast. You would cook your breakfast to how you like it. You know, you'd butter it the way you like it, have your eggs the way you like it. But here, you would literally just choose what you're going for. Like, if you're doing it on a lead, you don't want too much echo and delay. Unless maybe it's at the intro or the outro for your stabs and so forth. So, before I go, those who want to stay a little bit longer, if you were to add some of these plugins into the stereo side, it really would boost everything up. So I'm going to show you. So this is without. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? By the way, let's look without the plugins. Let's see what it sounds like. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend. So it sounds pretty decent, I'm not going to lie, because I was very careful and made sure, you know, I've got my soundproof here. My pop filter, as you can see, is not too close to the mic. My delivery is correct, not trying to be big-headed. But that's why it's important that your actual recording is key. All mixing does is add little flavours to it, you know, the little bits of seasoning. Now back with the actual plugins, obviously it's going to sound different. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? Okay, you can hear the difference, right? It just sounds nice to the ear, right? Now, I'm going to show you how you can add these in the stereo to even bump it up, okay? Let's go with the S1. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? You can hear the actual echo just kind of sounding more prominent. It's really come out a bit more, okay? Let's add the L1 Ultramaximizer. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? Again, same thing. When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Okay, the MV2. Where did it go? They my bros. When they needed the help, I was at the end of the call, giving my all. Where did it go? When they needed a friend, I was at the end of the bend, giving my soul. Where did it go? They my bros. Where did it go? Ride on my own. They didn't know. One girl soldier. I'm okay on my own. Took a different lane. They don't know where I go. Now, if you were to play these on big speakers, it would sound even bigger, okay? So, that's it for today. That's my top 5 plugins, essential plugins that I literally cannot live without. So, yeah, I hope it's been helpful to you. I wanted to explain it in a bit of detail and give you tips that, you know, I didn't really get taught. I'm self-teaching myself. doing exactly what you're doing right now, trying to learn. So yeah, I hope you found it useful. Drop a comment below, let me know if there's anything else you want to know. This, by the way, is taking off a new project that I'm going to be releasing, and it's a solo project, and yeah, I'm excited. I'll be sharing my journey as to how I come up with the writing and everything like that, so make sure you subscribe. I've got a lot more coming. So yeah, for now, we've had our breakfast, we shared it. Go and cook it, whatever you're doing. Right now it's the evening, so I'm going to Netflix and chill. A little bit of Ozark. I'm out.
Let me keep it real, I'm nice. See from now, I don't wanna scream and shout. I'm just flexing, I'm a boss. Heard we said referee is foul. Where about? Got a lot of